Hello, everyone. Oh, okay, there I am. That's much better. Hey, wow, we got a bunch of people in here already. Good, nice. I'm going to try something a little different tonight as we're on. Wow, this has got like a backwards video effect. Okay. Anyway, we're going to do this on YouTube, and let's see. The settings are a little bit different, so we can still share a screen, which is nice. Okay. So we could pop up our normal intro that KJ, Kylie, Matthew Ward, Kerosene and Cucumbers, Bob's, Chop Shop, Lumpy, and Fun with Cars. How is everybody doing? Don't mind me while I go off screen here a second, but you can still see me. Didn't know we could share the screen doing this on YouTube instead of StreamYard. I just wanted to try it just to see if it's any different. Give me a second here. Dun, 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 dun. How was everybody doing? How's everybody doing on this wonderful Monday night? It was real nice here over the weekend. Today was a little bit chilly, but that's okay. Let me get down to this and go on to this. Okay. And we'll go back to here and we'll see if this works. Boom. Share. Go back to the screen. Are we sharing? Yes, we are. Okay, see, we're sharing. We'll turn the volume up. Volume's up. And we'll do All right, I feel better now. That figured that out because it's just a little screen that pops up. And oh, well, we got buddies here, Mr. Bird, Don Stuyven, Old Cars and Music. Nuts. Let's not talk about the weather. Fine. We're a little salty, aren't we, Mr. Buffalo? So I won't tell you I was in the pool yesterday, if we're okay with that. So we got today we popped over by Tony's when Jeff was down there. We got for our dragster for Jeff's Nostalgia Top Fuel dragster, that 1969 Coulson Stiletto dragster. We got finally got the clutch in from Crower. It's a nice looking piece. See if I could show it to you here. 3, 2, 1. Compensate. There we go. And that's the flywheel and the main plate. The little fingers push on the pressure plate. The steels and clutches came in a separate package, along with the feeler gauges, all the weights, and the flywheel bolts, which are the right bolts. So let's see. Here, we'll do this. Standard. Save. Fun with Cars, we just gave you a little wrench. Trying to share this message. Can't do it, doesn't pop it up on screen. But anyway, Fun with Cars have a $70 Amazon drone that has GPS follow me mode that I'd love to try for that burnout. Yeah, I got one of those too, but mine was like 120, and it's supposed to follow you. I never had the guts to have it try to follow me because I don't want to lose it or whatever, or it gets taken up by a light pole or who knows. If I'm brave enough to use that one day, I'll let you know. Mexican Spec is here. Was on his live the other day. He was showing some pretty cool cars that he had and stuff like that. So yes, Mex, I was there. Bob's Chop Shop. Whatever report pin message. No, go to channel. I guess they just don't pop up on the screen. So maybe that's not the greatest way to do this, but it's what we got for tonight. Bob's Chop Shop. Do you have a simple fixes for a 4.6 oil leak on a 1997 F-150s? Apparently, it's a common problem. Apparently, the robots, when they're putting the cylinder heads on, drag the head over the dowels. No. 97 on the first year body style of the F-150. No, I haven't heard of that, but if that's the cause, I mean, you would just need to, if it's a 97, switch the heads out, man. Put some PI heads on that thing. PI heads and intake and pick up 50 horsepower. Oh, I'm missing some. Oh, you didn't see me? Okay. Yeah, I was in there just to check it out and stuff like that. It popped up on my screen, and I actually had some time at home where I wasn't doing 17 different things, so I decided I would swing in and see what's going on. I got the email is open as always. Let me put that in there. gmail.com. Enter. All right, and then we will pin this one. Can we pin it? Pin message. Message pinned up top. Up top, man. That's where the email is. Yes, we know what you're doing swimming. It was 84 degrees Saturday and Sunday. Bob Chop Shop may just be a Canadian manufacturing problem. No, they probably made all those 4.6s all in one place, and that's I may have known about that, but the 97s, they got so much time on them. You know, if they scratch the heads, and chuck the heads in the garbage and put a PI head on it. And you got, and you still have a 97 Ford that's living up in Canada. It hasn't all just rotted back into the earth. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive, sir. So what do you guys think? Do you like this display on YouTube where you can't see what you're talking about, but you can see it on the side? Or, top chat, did I put on all messages? Sometimes I miss them then. Yeah, it's kind of a unicorn. Did the rockers on it. Had to patch it up. You never know. Jay wants to know where you're at, Bob, up in Canada. Anyway, like I was saying, do you guys like this format? Can you hear me okay? Would you rather look at it on the StreamYard so you can see your comments and all that kind of stuff and pop-ups? Oh, yeah, because we can change it real quick. 5x5. Reading the comments. You're fine with the stream comments? Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. How's Houston tonight, sir? So anyway, back to conversation. We got the clutch and that kind of stuff in for the dragster. We can get the clutch installed, and we can do our measurement from the clutch throw-up bearing, because the throw-up bearing is in the flywheel, not in the crank, to the faceplate of the can. Take that measurement, call Lenco, and get a input shaft shift to us. And that part of mystery will be solved. And we got to do another mystery for the coupler. And then we need to build a throttle cable, wait for the heads to come back, wait for the brakes to come back. Yada, yada, yada. Josh Homan, oh, thanks for being here, buddy. Good to be here. Good to have you here. Spent the better part of the weekend. Let me see if I can pull this down a little. Well, not the better part of the weekend. Most of Saturday during the day, working on that 08 Chevy. It's an 08 GMC Sierra, 4-wheel drive, the big jacked up black truck. R&R the intake to get to the oil pressure sensor at the back of the motor, because these hands don't fit behind that particular intake in this particular truck, with the vacuum hoses and harness and everything that's in the way that firewall is curved, to get there to replace that oil pressure sensor, because it had broke. It had not leaked, but it was broken, and it was light on the dash and yada, yada, yada. Don, wanted to explain the 305 head overheat issue, but don't want to beat a dead horse. No, go ahead, because you were filling them with aluminum in your circle track car to keep them from overheating. No, let's yeah, Gen 4 intake. Yeah, and it's an LSX intake, so it's a little different. It's got a little different fuel rails on it. Just couldn't get my hand back there to get that oddball size socket on there and pop it out and place it. So we had to R&R the intake. No big deal, because his intake gaskets were kind of roached anyway, so we put a new set of intake gaskets on. We'll play show and tell with this. We did a new set of intake gaskets this way. Ooh, nice. See, there's the old ones. Whoops. There's the old. See, this film is backwards in this thing. It's horrible. I don't like it. These are the old intake gaskets. Those are the new ones, the nice red ones. And he had a couple things. He had a big boost leak with his intake. Here. Come on, camera. There we go. That lower port right there, the plug had blown off of it, and this upper port he had a plug on, but it wasn't clamped or anything. So I was wondering why it wasn't getting blown out, because this thing's got a Procharger on it when it went into boost. Well, I go to take the intake off, and I take the fuel rail off, and I see that this open port on this intake. So yeah, it was sucking air, and then got real dark in here with the come on camera reset. Whoa, there we go. Wow, that worked pretty good. And it also sounded like it had a header leak, because it was So when I put the intake back on, I just ran a piece of AN hose and clamps from that bottom port to the top port because both of them weren't being used for anything. That took care of the header leak. That took care of the big boost leak. On the back of the intake, there's a small, like, that little 1/4-inch size vacuum hose lead and a larger one that you run the brake booster off of. Well, that smaller one, that was open too. So this thing was leaking boost. It probably had a plug on it one time, just got blown out, running like crap. Put it all back together. Got it running, let it run on the driveway for 20 minutes and stuff like that, just checking everything, making sure everything's fine and blah, 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 whatever. Take it out. Just go to take it around the block and, it's everything's fine and stuff like that. And give her the beans a little bit and that blower kicks in and it built a little boost and then immediately blew the number 7 injector O-ring out and started pouring out gas out the back. So good thing it was only around the block. Got it back before it dumped out all the gas, and got new O-rings for it. So I just got to do the O-rings on it tomorrow, and that truck should pretty much be done. So that's what I was doing. Josh Holman, D-Strow, how you doing, buddy? I can't understand why they designed the truck with engine pushback so far under the cowl. Yeah, I don't know either. Just move the front axle out 2 inches or something like that. It's because it's a pain in the butt to get anything back there. Fun with cars. Did that oil pressure, which without disassembling the intake. You went the right way. For a little time, you saved make up for the vocabulary. Yeah, I wasn't about to take the cowl apart and drill holes, and not my truck. So, yeah, it's a 1 1/16 socket. Yeah, it's weird. Which I have the socket. It's no big deal. And most of the new pressure sensors you buy from wherever, they come with that little socket now. But it was just easier for me. Just take the intake off, and good thing I did because I found other stuff that was wrong. That's why you're using a AEM 100, but this has got all the stock dash and stuff like that. So, John T01, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. One car is 1 1/16 with a swivel 4-inch extension laying over the fender and dislocating your shoulder. You forgot. Does that? Yeah. Yeah. Huge vacuum leak. Yep. Attempt to make the cab look really big. Well, it's dumb. What cars does it have the upgraded valve covers? I don't know. Sure. Okay. Don's talking about the 305 overheat. The head has a crossover that connects 2 exhaust ports, and the exhaust pulse go back and forth for each fire cylinder, and it heats hot as heck. Old 305 heads only have 1 exhaust port. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. It would look kind of weird, but I'm like, yeah, whatever. This motor's not that hot, so might be okay. If not, no big deal. They're small block Chevy heads are easy enough to swap out. Yeah, who knows what the heck is making noise up there? I have no idea if it has the updated valve covers, like I said. You tell me. And we did since we got nothing else to talk about, yeah, me and the mouse in my pocket. He needed new front brakes, so we did 3, 2, 1, bam. There we go. All new pads and rotors, which I was amazed the rotors just kind of fell off. They didn't have to fight them at all. And then the pins were all corroded, so I wire wheeled all them, greased them all up, rebuilt all them, resprayed the bracket itself just to make it look nice and clean the caliper and, a nice job and bled the fluid, all that kind of cool stuff. So his brakes are all good. The rear drums on this truck would not come off. I have a giant hammer. It was like a 5-pound thing. Beat the crap out of them. Heated them with a MAP gas. I don't have an oxyacetylene, because that would have got it maybe hot enough, maybe not. But the MAP gas, heat it, blasted it, heat it, blasted it, heat it, blasted it. It was like a half-day thing trying to get these rear drums off. And then finally, I'm just like, I had to say, no, can't do it. First time yeah. Anyway, like it put up a chat here. I would not pull heads up to change it, but if you have any problems, that's why. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Well, he's got a catch can on it and stuff like that, so I'm not really worried about oil consumption. Didn't seem like it's because he got it fed back into the intake side of the blower. I didn't really see any oil there, so it's nothing to worry about, I don't think. Cup Car Steve, what's going on, buddy? Reading the comments. Nothing happening at the moment. Did develop covers 2011 to 2019. Car 716. What's that? Pony. That makes sense. Oh, okay. Okay. So, what else we got going on? The motor for those Caminos, that engine's all together. Was waiting to finish up that truck and get the truck picked up and gone. Get another car picked up and gone, and then jump back on the El Camino that the motor is out of and throw it back in there. I do need to pick up a converter for it. Oh, it's a little bug or something up there in the light making noise. Are you still on track for the golden toilet bowl? Yeah. Like I said, Steve, earlier, that truck's pretty much all done. Got a little work to do on it tomorrow, and should be able to finish it up tomorrow. And when the guy gets back from, well, he's not really offshore, but he works on the river, so he can come get it and stuff like that. And it's a much better truck now than when it came here. It's had a lot of work done to it, so that'll all be good. So what else? What's going on with all you folks? Because I'm out of stuff. Kind of out of stuff. I just had a lot of work stuff to do, and so it wasn't super exciting all weekend. Cop Car Steve, did you ever sell the spare El Camino shell? Yes. And that person who's on here sometimes, is picking it up on like the 4th. Deal's done, stuff like that. Busted Radio Garage. What's going on, buddy? Yeah, been a while since I've been here. I hope it's all as well. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it was doing lives. What happened? The original channel, same name and stuff like that, back in August, September area, got hacked. So everyone that was subscribed to the channel at then, I lost all that 11,000 some subs. So I had to restart. Different name to restart it, and then 30 days later I could change it back to the original name. But it's all new and things like that. And usually do this on StreamYard on Mondays, but I tried to do it on YouTube tonight just to try something different. And maybe you've seen it there and picked it up, so I guess it's working. How you doing? How you doing with all your burnout cars and things like that? I get distracted easily by stuff in my camera. But what the heck is... Oh, that's not mine. That's a different house. Okay. Oh, you got hacked also? Yeah. It sucks. You just had to move on. Distro, Dr. Art, are you using the TH200 3-speed? Not the TR400 overdrive in the El Camino. I always heard that they're weak. Yes, I'm going to use that TH200. It is the 3-speed version with the lockup converter. And I'm going to do a manual lockup for the converter, like a button switch, because all the stuff that controls that is all ripped out. Don't need any of it. And we'll see. If it lasts, great, because when I drop the pan to drop the fluid to take the trans out of the car, everything looked good inside. So I don't have any reason to believe that it's not a good transmission. And for what I'm using for it, it should be okay. If not, I have a Turbo 350 in the garage. That may need a little refreshing, but we'll see what happens. I think it'll be okay. Mexican spec, which car truck did you want that you saw? There was a couple of them. There was a 62 Galaxy. That was a really cool car. I don't need any more cars right now, though. No. But that 62 is cool. Busted Radial. Everything is good here. Getting ready to start my 9-month season. Wow. Okay, cool. But yeah, thanks for popping in, bud. We're here. Yes, still have the Ranger. Hopefully get that out this year. That's why I want to get rid of some of these cars, get them out of my way. Presently, it's up on the lift with a car that I sold to another guy who hasn't picked up yet underneath it. And in the driveway is an RV and other cars. So it's just a major monkey fest to get that thing down off the lift and moved and stuff like that. So, but first week in April, that second car will be gone, make life much easier. Been working on a big lifted 6.0 supercharged Sierra pickup truck. That's pretty much done. That'll be gone. So I'll have much more room to move stuff around and can get the Ranger out before it gets too hot here, is the plan. Front seat. So the Ranger, yes. Just sent you some pictures. 58 Chevy truck hood I just louvered. Oh, okay, cool. Let's take a look at that. They're not here yet. The senior account manager, Fort Worth. Nope. That's not it. Let's go back here. Yeah, as soon as they pop in, I got it. It's up on the screen. I'll see them and stuff like that. We'll get to those pictures. We get to those pictures, Bob. No worries. Don says 200 needs a drum update. It won't take much to strip the splines out. It's just gonna be putted around. You know, it's not gonna be hot rodded or big tires or anything like that. So we'll see. Like I said, if I blow it out, I got this money to. I'd have to spend money to rebuild a transmission anyway, so I'll just rebuild that turbo 350, put that in there, and that'll be plenty. But for right now, it should be just a plug and play driver the way it came out, just to make life easy. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I know they're weak. Everybody does, but we'll. That one seemed to be okay. Thumbnail around. My son-in-law got married in '66. Phil had a '62 Galaxy convertible with a 406. Cool cars. Yeah, they got good lines. Jerry Van is here. Hi, Jerry. We're on YouTube tonight, not StreamYard, so I can't pop up quotes into the main screen here. I don't know why they don't do that. That seems like they're missing out. Chris, yeah, it is. 8th Mile. Before the last time I ran it, which I didn't even get to run it last season because of house drama and everything else. 70101 foot brake, 8th Mile, low boost, 9 pounds of boost. Right. About as fast as you need to go in that truck. But since then, I changed some stuff on the tune. I changed some stuff on the way the turbo is controlled. So now it's about 13, 14 pounds of boost. And to get the car off the line, I had a 50 horsepower nitrous dry shot that sprayed right into the intake. I changed that to 75 to help the car get out of its own way a little bit off the foot brake. Because right now the best 60 foot is like a 1.7. I want to get that down into maybe like a 1.55. At least something under 1.6. So I want to shave off that 10th off the 60 foot time, and that'll put me out the back. That'll put me under 7 going through the trap because I got plenty of RPM left because it's only 373 gear. So I'm looking to run like a 680 this year, 680 to 103, 104. And that's all the faster I need to go in that Ranger with that little skinny tires on the front of it and no sway bar and I-beam suspension. And it's exciting. Well, I also changed it from, because it had like a homemade lift bar suspension, which worked okay. But as you turn up the boost, it really wanted to steer the truck left. Bad. Cut all that out, put in Caltrax. So I wanted to get those all dialed in too. So I think those will help. You know, like I said, the transfer was good, but it did pull left, so it'll go straight now, so I don't die. And the extra boost and the extra little bit off the line, like I said, get the 60 foots down into the 1.5s and then 680s out the back, and I'll be happy. It doesn't need to go any faster than that. It really, that truck doesn't, and it might feel better with the Caltrax, but that's fast enough. Just for a fun toy, I don't need to, you know. From cards, I have 2 white convertibles. I want to sell when the snow stops. Yeah. Next year, hoping to build a 6700 drop-in dyno. What turbo are you running? Right now, I'm running a 7875. Originally, that had a GT40 on it, and it was okay for $125 turbo at the time. But now it's a $300 turbo, a 7875. Import from overseas. It does spool faster. and probably performs better. Just doesn't sound as cool. Those GT40s have a big jet sound to them because I still have I still have a GT45 on the Falcon, and you're driving that in banging gear, that just sounds like a freaking jet engine. It's pretty cool, and that car doesn't need more than the boost that it's getting, so that's okay with that. F turbo like he's getting us. That's what it's for. Get that little bit of shot off the line, build some cylinder pressure so that turbo can spin a little faster and build some boost. Yeah, not dying is a good thing. Yeah, because a couple of years ago, it's been 2-3 years. Yeah, it's been about 3 years ago now. Yeah, the steering shaft from the shaft to the where the shaft bolts into the steering box itself on the frame came disconnected mid-run. That was exciting. A lot of F words. Shadow ups. It's a 5.7 with a Chuck Norris cam. That means more now. A Chuck Norris, yeah. Holy car mod 66 2012 Ram 5.7 Hemi. What's some things you can do ECM wise? I used to tune Hemis, right? I have a whole buttload of Hemi ECUs in the drawer here. They're buried. Because every Hemi is different. Now, what would happen, Holy Car Mods, is all these guys get a Hemi. Say there's two guys, right? Say they both have a Ram like yours, and they both get X-Cam from the same retailer. Install it. They all install it properly, do all the proper things, DOD delete, all that kind of stuff. All this, the whole $1,800 package to put a cam in, a Hemi, and they'll tune completely different. It's maddening. Now, I used to have a service to where the guys would put cams in their Hemis, and I could tune their computer so it would idle, because if you put a cam in a Hemi and don't do anything else, it will not run. I can adjust it so it'll idle, but that turned into, well, can you tune it in this? No, it just became too much of a, and all these weird stuff happens if you're not there and you don't have it on dyno. You can get them to run, and if it's stock, yes, there's stuff you can do with some fueling and some timing to make them run a little bit harder. So I really got off track there. Sorry, but you can do stuff ECM wise with the timing, because the timing is for everybody, all altitudes and stuff like that. So you can really dial it into your particular where you live in the country. You can add some spicing. You can add some timing, in that mid range to really pick it up. Actually, add some timing top end under full throttle. It helps a lot. And then you can do some fueling changes too and stuff like that, and it will wake it up. So Holy Car Mods, yes, there is stuff you can do to it. If it's just stock and you're just looking for a little bit more power, yeah. Afterwards for a Swift underwear change, pretty much. That would have scared the death out of me. It pissed me off more than anything, and I was mad, because I was in the right-hand lane. A guy who I know, his son was in a GTO in this left lane, right? When it took off, because the GTO was stock. I got it way out ahead of him, but then the steering feel it started to pull because of the rear suspension. It started to pull to the left into the GTO's lane. Well, good thing I was cleaning him, or I would have ran right into him, and who knows did what to the kid and the car and everything like that. So none of that happened. So I was happy about that. But yeah, it was kind of made. Buddy wants to see the Ranger Gap bottle rocket this summer. So yeah, so do I. Mm-hmm. It runs into formula. Okay, what am I missing here, Jay and Jerry? 373 in the rear, front cars. Front cars, it only has a 223. We'll get a. Oh, Shadow Ops. Oh, okay, run. T3 is smaller, T4 spools quicker, but less output. Yes, because it's a smaller turbo. Yes. F words in the suit. What has scared me. Hope to see the Ranger Gap bottle rocket this summer. It should. It runs. That's a formula I'm going for a Ford 4.6. What are you doing, Jay? I'm missing part of that conversation here. Depends on the gen of the Mopar Hemi. Well, he said it's a 12, so it's the Eagle motor. So 373 $1 run here, Chris. Crash's Roadrunner Garage. What's going on, buddy? Nice to see you here. Thanks for popping in. Nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Busted Radio, Chris. It was great seeing you. We're hoping you give up after that mess. Take care. Dropped you another sub. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Have a good night. Good luck with your burnout season this year. And if you guys aren't aware or haven't seen it, go over to the channel, Busted Radio Garage. He's got some cool stuff going on there. He does burnout cards, a lot of Mopar content, things like that, and other interesting items. Oh, and you should remind him if he's going to work on the Trans Am, he needs to wear the Burt Reynolds cowboy hat. So I think that would be proper. It's a proper thing to do. I think I missed something in the conversation. If I did, guys, let me know. Sorry, it's just me here, and it's kind of hard to read on the Shadow Ups, Brandon. My tax return is much better than it was under Biden. Yeah, well, it goes just as fast, which is amazing. Because the more you get back and it just disappears, you have all this money. Congratulations. Whew. God. It's paid. Send to other people. Take your money and send it to everyone else you know. That's how it works. Figured that out a long time ago. That. All your money is just for somebody else. Need the shot in the arm, tax return. The key to it is how to take other people's money. That's the reverse of your money is for everyone else. Right? Because even people with multi-million dollars, they're paying somebody. They're paying somebody for their lawn. They're paying somebody for their house, their car, their jet, their airplane. They're fill in the blank, right? Their set of golf clubs. They're giving money to somebody else, right? You need to be that somebody else. Besides your job. Your job is what you do to keep the lights on. Your side stuff is what you do to stack in the safe and pay for all your toys. Think my internet's slow. Don't think the picture sent. No. No, nothing in the inbox, sir. So crank up them reindeer up there, get them to spin the wheel a little faster. Holy car mods. Dr. Cams don't do well in those years of Hemis. Are understanding that wrong. No, you're not. The problem with the Hemi cams, right? If you look at a LS or small block Chevy, small block Ford, things like that, the distance between the center line of the crankshaft and the center line of the cam, is yay far, right? On a Hemi, it's like this far, right? Why does that matter? The cam lobes get lubricated through splash off the crank, right? The bearings are fed, the lifters are fed, but the lobes themselves, even though they're on a roller, they get fed by splash, right? And then more importantly than that, the little rollers that are in the lifters, that's how they get oiled. They don't get oiled through the lifter passages, which feeds valve train and stuff like that. So there's no direct oil going onto the camshaft, especially if you have using a thicker oil, or if you're like a guy with a construction truck or cops where cars idle a lot, where you don't get that consistent splash up to the cam to lubricate the cam. Those little rollers dry out, and that's what eats your cams. All right, real basic. That's just what happens. So what a lot of guys do, they'll tap into that lifter galley and do like a sprayer, like was essentially like a diesel piston sprayer that they use underneath the spray to bottom of pistons, but they either do a hose or some kind of hard line to where oil pressure being pumped through the galleys and stuff like that actually sprays on the lifter lobes themselves. So, and that keeps the cam saturated in oil, which keeps all the rollers saturated in oil. And you don't have cam problems on the Hemi. That's why every Hemi ticks. Brand new ones. They all make noise. Vroom, it's a Hemi tick. That's what kills the cams on there. So not necessarily changing the cam, because that doesn't do anything, right? It's the oil and stuff like that. And then go, I put a cam in my Hemi now, I need race oil, and I put in 2050. Big heavy oil doesn't sling like 1030 does. So you don't get as much oil on the cam, right? And yada, yada. So there's my rant about Hemi cams. Okay, Bob Chop. I can see I'm missing some stuff in between you guys. I don't know. I got it all online, but I think I'm still missing some chat here. So bear with me. It was good chatting. Got to haul the groceries. See you later, bud. Thanks for popping in. Congratulations on rear end video going big. Thanks. I appreciate that. Dr. Marine Holly carb versus a regular Holly. The difference, usually the marine carbs functionally are the same. Some of them have throttles on the weird sides and stuff like that. But they have the vent tubes for the float bowls are different. And they usually are a little more. There's some kind of restriction in the. I don't remember what it was, but they are a little different. You can still make them work, Jerry. Do you the difference? There's minor stuff. You can still, if the linkage is all the same and everything works the same, you can pull that basically, boat motor Holly carb off of it and use it on your, whatever, fill in the blank, stuff like that. And what are you putting 8 pounds of boost on? You never said you had questions about the timing and stuff like that, but never said what you're putting the boost on. What is your plan, sir? What is your plan? What are you planning on boosting? Oh, you're gonna do that 206 cylinder? Oh, okay, that'd be fun. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be pick it up. Use. Oh, I don't know what the hell you would want to use for a carburetor on that, because on a 200, that choke point is the intake, unless you got a one where the intake manifold is separate. And putting the boost into that little tiny hole through a blow-through carb, which you could do. Think about this. To simplify your life, because that motor is so tall, and the port that feeds that 200 is very small. And if you do it like a blow-through hat and stuff like that, it may fit under the hood, it may not. And I'm not saying do this, but be like the Volkswagen guys and do a draw-through turbo. Do a draw-through carburetor on your turbo. So basically, when you open up the hood, because the exhaust manifold's right there, you just plumb in a U, put your turbo there, and on the suction side of that turbo, put that little, what do you say, Holly 500. You can even use it for a 200. You can even use like that Holly 350 CFM 2-barrel. Probably going to muff. Draw through scares me for lean. It won't. Because that's what, like, a draw through carb will add fuel, just like a blow through. It's no different. It's just on a blow through, the power valve works backwards. On a draw through, it works the same. So you just you can drill out that power valve passage just a little bit, like one size up, and you'll get plenty of fuel when it starts to suck and to go into boost and stuff like that. Not saying for a lean start, no. If it's sealed up, because you're mounting everything right. I mean, your original intake is here, your turbo is here, and your carb is here, so it's only got to go an extra 2 feet. It's no big deal, because the vacuum from the engine is still going to suck that through the carb through the turbo to get it to start. You do your blow through. I have no opinion. I don't know. Yeah, it might be simpler now. The Volkswagen guys with their draw through turbos, there's a carbon seal that they have to put on their bushing turbos. Your eBay, your $8,500 turbo that you want to use on this thing. Little like T3, T4 hybrid would be perfect for a 200. A GT30 would be perfect for that little 200. And they're small, so and like oil feeding them won't be hard. You got plenty of room to run the draw through. The manifold's right there. You just make a big U and feed your turbo. Should be interesting. I've never turbocharged a straight six, but would it mean to be fine? Yeah, like it. Yeah. Commercial dropped and missed that. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for the commercial. The what the hell was I saying? Yeah, it's just little T3 or T3 T4 hybrid, a GT30 turbo, spool up, small spool up right away. That 200 is not going to rev past $5,000 anyway, so you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of top end, but it should make real good torque. Cop Car Steve, I wonder why Jamie Dead Dodge Garage had such a tough time with his slant 6 turbo, because his slant 6 was worn the fuck out. It would never run right because it didn't have the rings were just there for decoration. That motor was worn out. He actually put that turbo system with a carburetor on. He had a straight 6 225 like D150 or something like that, and it worked great. The only reason it didn't work on that little Valiant, because that motor was junk to start with. Even though he redid the head, it had no compression. It was just worn out. It was never going to work, no matter if he had fuel injection or carb or whatever on it. So that's what happened with that one. Yeah, you're right about the height, though. Yeah, because by the time you would run, because that carb's going to be higher, and then you're going to have some kind of bonnet on top of that carb. You're going to be up against the hood. This way, you do that little blow through, and you can take the compressor, the air coming out of the turbo, and line it right up in that, because you got all those bolts to mount everything, and just a quick little elbow there that you can fabricate, because that's just a 90 with a little 2-bolt flange to replace the carburetor on there. Bolt her down. Good to go. Don't need an intercooler. Don't need any kind of that stuff. You'll be good. Yeah, it was worn out. It didn't have good compression. It had almost no on a couple cylinders. And so the thing would just never run right, just NA. No turbo, no anything. It just would never run. So yeah, it was just worn out. Cylinders worn out, no compression. Yeah, that's right. And you add the 1 to 2 barrel adapter, and the 2 barrel still being fed through that little fucking hole. So there's your restrictor plate there. Yeah, that's another 2 inches, another 2 inches, another 2 inches, and all of a sudden, yeah, you're gacking your hood. Throwing a tiny turbo on your straight 6. This way, if you do a draw through, and it's all right there under the hood and stuff like that, and you can have a flat hood, looks perfectly stock, hubcaps, white walls. Yeah, be fun. Put a 5-speed behind it. Thunderbird 68, good evening. Did you ever get the Ford Highboy pictures? No, I did not. You got a few minutes to resend them? Can't believe how fast Dr. Art makes time go. You should be on this end trying to talk straight for an hour. Jerry says he has the 5-speed. So yeah, a little 200 straight 6. Is that going in one of your trucks, or is that going in? You want to put that in your Model A? But time has gone fast, and it's been an hour. So I think that's going to wrap it up, unless anybody's got something, testimonial, confession, anything they want to get off their chest. Truck has that 351. Oh, okay. My Jeep. I gotta see who's on the bottom. Susquehanna Stan. 06 Jeep Terrain keeps cutting out at 3,000 RPM. Your fuel pump is shit. your socket's clogged. It's a fuel issue. It's a fuel issue. It's a fuel issue. It's a fuel issue. It's not the crank sensor, because the crank sensor either works or it doesn't. It's not anything else. It's your fuel pump. And yes, it's going to start up right away and it's going to run fine if you don't go over 3,000. But as soon as you go over 3,000 RPM, drops of pressure. There's not enough pressure in the line to run the injectors, and it just goes boom, and goes pop, pop, bang, bang, crackle, crackle, dead. Put a fuel pump in it. Buddy Carfino, can you put a turbo on my riding tractor? You can put a turbo on anything. D. Stroud, good evening. Oh, you were here earlier, sir. Cop Car Steve, can't help it. I like the full-size four-door Fords. Yep. I'll check my sack. Okay. What was that noise? Okay. Forgot to ask whatever happened to your Police Crown Vics. They all got sold because, although they were fun, and I started buying those years and years ago, before the price on them went up. You could literally buy those at auction for $800. Take them home, clean them up. They usually needed minimum work, depending on the municipality that they came from. And you could sell them decontented and make a couple $1,000 real easy. So I probably have had 6 or 8 of them in various conditions. Did well on most of them. One I really took a bath on, but it had a bad motor, and that was my fault for not checking it out before I bought it. What are you going to do? But no, love them. I had a bunch of them, but I just sell them because I have too many cars, and I don't, need to get them all gone. Yeah, Crown Victoria P71. Yep, had bunches of them. Resent the email. Not sure why I didn't set before. Maybe the file's too big. I don't know. It's not here yet. I'll hang on another minute and see if it pops in. If not, I'll save it for next week. Used to do the same thing, but in Canada, you can't buy police cars anymore. My first car was this 87 Crown Vic in 1994. Yeah. You can make Lambos out of them. Yes, Jay, you can. Uh, 2009 Crown Vic, having my town for sale. It just looked up. 2011 to 2013, Hemi are considered risky years. Never knew that. 11s or 13s, anything after 09s, all the same Eagle motors, stuff like that. So not much to worry about. Still don't have the emails, but if they come in, I will save them for next week. Saying that, my hour is done. Appreciate all you guys, each and every one of you. There's a bunch of you in here tonight. Thanks for hanging out on the Monday nights. We'll try to do this consistently. Let me know in the comments if you like this version on the YouTube or the StreamYard. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I kind of like putting the comments up on the screen myself, but I guess it works without it. Like I said, Eric, like he said, hit the thumbs up on your way out, everybody. It does help the channel. Have a great week, everyone. See you Wednesday, and we're going to hit the button. Adios. Thanks, guys.